Nano Banana just made AI filmmakers unstoppable. The days of struggling to achieve character and style consistency are gone, because Google's new image editor allows you to take a single starting frame and transform it into an entire story. Your imagination really is the limit now. But if you're not using this tool correctly, you're not only missing out, you're falling behind as well. Today, I'm going to take you through my full Nano Banana workflow for AI filmmaking. And by the end of the video, you'll be a scriptwriter, cinematographer, and director all wrapped up into one. And best of all, I'm going to show you how you can achieve all of this without spending a single penny. I'm Jack. I've been a VFX artist in the advertising industry for over a decade now, and I've worked with many of the biggest brands on the planet. I've been playing with Google's new image editor for many hours now, and I'm really looking forward to passing on everything I've learned over to you guys in terms of how to integrate this tool into your filmmaking workflow. And thanks to Mike for commenting and suggesting to take a deeper look at this. Of course, guys, if you do enjoy today's content, make sure to whack a like on there for me, consider subscribing, and of course, ring that bell notification icon. Let's get straight into it. So of course, this entire process stems from our single starting image, so it is incredibly important to get this right. You can see that I'm on MidJourney, and I know already some of you guys are going to say, you said you could do this for free, you have to pay for MidJourney. But you can get some incredible image generations from ChatGPT without spending a penny. I just love MidJourney, and I recommend you guys pay for it because it's worth it. But here we have the starting image that I used for the short film that you see at the start of the video. Ironically, it doesn't actually feature in the video itself, but it really just served as a jumping off point and of course a style and character reference. Now this was inspired by the movie Prometheus, if you can't already tell. And with your starting image, it is so important to lock down your tone. And I mean that both in terms of the color palette, but also just the general vibe as well, because this is going to open up into the entire film that we make with Nano Banana. Everything is born from this one starting image, so you have to get this right. And next is time to start getting creative and writing our script. Now, if you're really stuck, you can employ the use of an LLM like ChatGPT, Grok, or Gemini to write out some story beats for you. But honestly, guys, you want to put your own creative spin on this, right? Otherwise, where's the fun? If the entire thing is AI generated, I don't know, it's losing a little bit of its soul, right? I feel like AI tools are best used when they are executing your own creative vision rather than just being the be-all and end-all. So with that in mind, I came up with the story that you guys can see on the screen right now. And it's just written kind of similarly to a normal movie script, and I've just numbered each point to correspond with a shot. So we'll run through these in a bit more detail in a minute when we go frame by frame, but to just give you guys the gist, I'm some kind of astronaut and I've woken up on this really strange, ancient, eerie planet. I don't know how I got there, so there's this feeling of mystery. And whilst I'm exploring it, this kind of glowing light appears from behind me, and for whatever reason, I'm drawn to it. Maybe it's curiosity, maybe it's something deeper, but I have to go and look at this light, and I reach out to touch it. And when I make contact with it, I'm basically transported to a jungle planet. And of course, I just wanted to have a little bit of fun and tie it in with the Nano Banana theme. So I fall out of this portal onto this massive mountain of bananas. And then the film ends with me inspecting this glass orb, and I'm just thinking, what on earth have I just discovered? All of that just came from that single starting image that we made on MidJourney. I didn't use ChatGPT or anything like that. I just enjoyed writing the stories, about having fun, right? But now that we have the script and we've started thinking about the individual frames, we can take our starting image into Nano Banana. And I'm not going to go through recreating every single frame with you guys, but I can show you just one example so you can understand the process. If we do every single frame, it's going to take absolutely ages, but head on over to lmarena.ai. At the top here, you want to click Direct Chat. Down here, click Generate Images, and it's going to automatically go onto Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview, brackets, Nano Banana, which I prefer that name. So we're going to upload our starting image. go back to our script and let's just grab this first prompt here. In fact, it's not really a prompt. Like I said earlier, it's kind of written more like a movie script, but I'm just gonna throw this at Nano Banana and just see what type of results we get back. You guys are probably aware that you can access Nano Banana on all sorts of AI sites now, like FreePic, for example. You can even use it on the Gemini app for completely free. However, it does come with a small diamond watermark in the right-hand corner. Cheeky little workaround though, you can use the Gemini app to generate an image that you want, and you can then pull it into LM Arena, ask LM Arena using Nano Banana to remove the watermark from the bottom right-hand corner, which I actually did for this film. And the quite powerful thing about using Gemini instead of LM Arena is that you can combine multiple images together. And that's actually how I got the final frame of the movie. I basically took the penultimate shot, which is this one here, and I combined it with our starting shot and asked it to generate another close-up of me inspecting the orb, but in that jungle environment, and it worked really well. Like I say, pulled it into LM Arena, got it to remove the watermark, and then we animated it on from there. Anyway, at the risk of me going off on a tangent, like I always seem to do, we have got our generation back from Gemini. And it's amazing. It's actually brought the image to life in a completely different way to what you would have seen in the short film at the start of this video. So really, you can even use Nano Banana to inspire your plot if you're running out of ideas or if you're at kind of writer's block level. Just to have a little bit of fun, let's just retry this and see what we get on a second run. See how different the variation is from our first generation. So it's kind of similar. It's gone into a very kind of future tech vibe. I love how the kind of glowing constellations have fused with the floor though. And I love this kind of crystalline structure over here, this massive spaceship. You can imagine you could build all of these elements into your story if you wanted to. And we'll hit retry one more time just for the fun of it, but you can see this is the process that you would use. You would take your starting image, you'd put it into Gemini or LM Arena or FreePic to access Nano Banana, you'd feed in your prompt, and bit by bit, you would build up essentially a storyboard. This one here, actually, I really like. If there is any elements of the image that you don't like, you can also go back. I know with Gemini, it's very conversational. It kind of behaves a bit like an LLM, like ChatGPT. So you could say to Gemini, for example, can you remove the futuristic buildings from the scene? And it's going to give you a really nice level of control. But just look how it's put the orb next to my body. I'm kind of flat on my back here. It's completely different to what you guys would have seen in the short film. And of course, the key thing is the style, the tone, and myself as the character. It all feels consistent. It doesn't kind of break that illusion, which I think is the problem with AI filmmaking a lot of the time. Nano Banana essentially becomes your storyboarding mechanic where you're making each of the first frame of every shot for your film. So you can use all different types of camera angles, you can describe different elements, different actions that are taking place within the scene, but of course it just corresponds back to the script that you've already written. So you're not kind of plucking things out from thin air, it's following this order that you've already decided on. And like any AI tool, there's going to be a bit of trial and error. You're going to get back some pretty rubbish results from Nano Banana as well, but you can also get back something like this. And if you continually repeated the process, you would get back your entire movie, except it would just be in still frames. And if we just run through here now, first of all, it's me laying on my back. I've just kind of come to in this strange sci-fi environment. Then I'm rubbing my head. Really nice establishing shot here. I love what Nano Banana did. Nice close up. We're trying to get a variation of camera angles here. The texture that Nano Banana gets on my skin here and that kind of change of focal depth is insanely good. Like, even looking at this now, it's still blowing my mind. Beautiful reflection of those glowing constellations in the lens of my glasses. Then of course we have the origin of this kind of glowing light, which becomes that glass orb, weird teleportation, ancient device. So I'm kind of looking out over my shoulder here, we're introducing that element. Then I'm walking off into the distance because I'm drawn to this glowing sphere. I need to work out what it is. Then just a bit more variation here, and also allowing me to walk towards the finishing point and then stop walking to kind of add a little bit more drama and suspense, because we can't see what it is that's drawing me there, right? It's hidden from the frame and hidden by a glow as well. Then I knew when I typed this prompt out, this was going to be cool, but reaching out to make contact with this glowing sphere. I will admit that I think the scale is a little bit off. I would have liked the sphere to have been a bit bigger, but you know, I can't make these movies forever. I've got other stuff going on as well. So it was a cool looking shot. I left it and moved on. And I loved the first close-up of my face so much with the constellations. I thought, wouldn't it be cool to somehow have the glow kind of lighting up my face and directly reflected in my glasses? And when this was animated, this shot looked so cool. Again, we can talk a whole bunch about the texture in my mustache and the kind of imperfections all across my nose. Imperfections are really what make things real. You really want to try and build that into your AI generations. We go on to this amazing over-the-shoulder shot of me holding this glowing glass orb, and we get a little bit more textural detail of the object itself now. And obviously when I'm asking for this image generation from Nano Banana, we are thinking back to the script, and we're thinking that it's going to engulf, you know, the glow is going to get so big that we get transported or sucked into it. And then of course we appear in this very different jungle environment, except I still look very consistent. My outfit still looks really consistent. I'm still holding the same glass orb, and I'm just looking completely stunned, like, what on earth has happened? And just to finish up, we have me holding up this orb and thinking I've discovered something incredible here. So now that you have the frames for each beat of the story, it is of course time to animate. And I actually ended up using a fair few different video generators to get the end result you see at the start of the video. Lots of trial and error was involved. So guys, please don't expect it to just work out the box straight away. We're not at that point of AI video generation just yet. Of course, some tools are better than others, but I ended up using Kling, VO3, and actually a whole load of Hailuo. I would say like 90% of the film was generated using Hailuo. The guys over there were very kind. They gave me a bunch of credits to test out their tools. So if anyone's watching from Hailuo, thank you very much. You can kind of see me putting in various different prompts to animate all of our frames. Some of the results I got were amazing. Some of them were quite weird. This one, for example, where I'm walking and I just randomly turn around and I look completely different, kind of like a video game character. This one here, even though the result is cool, it isn't actually what I asked Hailuo to do. And obviously when I turn around to face the camera, you can see it's not very consistent in terms of how I actually look. My beard is a lot longer and my face structure quite different. And now this shot here, the final shot, or the penultimate shot, I should say, where I kind of get transported on top of this mountain of bananas. My God, was this hard. And if you're sat there thinking, Jack, you said you were going to tell me how I can animate these images for free. I am, don't worry, we're going to get to that. But I just really like to show you guys every step of the process so you can understand that this wasn't effortless. This was a lot of trial and error, a lot. You can see this generation here, I kind of fall down, which I didn't want to happen. This one here is pretty good. But then by the time we get to my face, of course, I look completely different. I haven't got glasses. And then when I was trying to get myself to fall onto the mountain of bananas, for whatever reason, Hailuo kept changing my clothes. So it kept taking away the astronaut outfit. What I kind of found eventually was that the image I was feeding into it was me holding the orb up like this. And so when it was trying to animate my body, because I was covering my clothing with the starting image, the AI video generators, not just Hailuo, I have to say, like many of them, didn't know what clothes I was wearing. And of course you can tell it that you're wearing an astronaut suit, but it's not necessarily going to stay consistent to what we saw me wearing in the rest of the film, because the AI video generator doesn't know. But you can see all kinds of really wacky results that we got. Again, I get changed to someone completely different. It's kind of actioning prompts that I haven't put in. I didn't want this to happen at all. Again here, kind of a lens flare, and I slide off, and I've changed a lot again. And then some of them are just really crazy. Like you guys can see, the amount of trial and error involved in creating that film was pretty crazy, but you do learn quite a lot along the way. This one here was really cool. Unfortunately, so I like the way that the glow happens and stuff, and I kind of get sucked into it. But then it just drops a different astronaut there that is not me. So it kind of just breaks the entire plot, right? This one here, cool portal, but again, it's just put someone else in there. So I think really I was pushing AI video generation to its absolute limit. But I do want to end on a high note in terms of Hailuo. Just look at these last couple of video generations, which of course came from this starting frame here. So we'll go for the first generation I had, which I think ended up making it into the final short film. Really cool, amazing changes of focal depth to really add some kind of dynamics to the shot itself. And this one here, which I don't think I used in the end, is still really, really cool. I love the way that I kind of take the orb down into the center of frame and I'm still looking at it. In my face, everything looks amazing. The way it animates my eyebrows as I kind of furrow my eyebrows, I'm trying to analyze this object. This is so good. So yes, a lot of trial and error is involved, but if you stick with it, if you're determined and you have this kind of vision, then you're going to get some amazing results. And as I always like to say, the tools for image and video generation when it comes to AI, they're never going to get worse, are they? They are only ever going to get better. So now is the perfect time to be training yourself with these tools. That's exactly what I like to do on this channel, guys. So if you are enjoying today's content, make sure to whack a like on there for me, consider subscribing, and of course, ring that bell notification icon as well. Now, as promised, I said I was going to show you guys how you can animate your images for free. I mentioned this in every single one of my videos. So if you're one of my existing subscribers, I can only apologize, guys, but I want to spread the word on this tool because I think it's very important. The less paywalls when it comes to AI content creation, in my view, the better. So I will continue to talk about LM Arena and their Discord specifically till the end of time. I will put a link for this Discord in the description, but essentially how it works is you go into the LM Arena Discord. Of course, we already used the web-based version of LM Arena to access Nano Banana without the watermark earlier in the video. Here, we're going to jump into Video Arena 1. That's where I hang out. If you guys ever want to see what I'm creating, you might do. Hit slash and go image to video. Then let's just drag and drop in our establishing shot. And I want to go back to our script and we will just grab this prompt here, just drop it into the prompt section and we hit return. And now we are going to wait for our generation back. See here, it says this generation can take up to 10 minutes. What you're expected and encouraged to do, guys, is you're going to get back 2 different outputs from random AI video generators. And the community votes on which output they preferred, left or right. So it is a lucky dip. You might get some really bad results. You are also going to get a lot of really good results and you haven't spent a single penny. So when I said at the start of the video, you can create what I did in terms of the short film without spending anything, you really can. I'd encourage you to use MidJourney for your starting frame, but you could just as easily use ChatGPT, for example. Write your script and then take your starting image into Nano Banana to create all your different story beats. And then you can pull those frames that Nano Banana gives you into LM Arena Discord for it to animate them for you. Now, I think you can only generate a maximum of 8 videos per day. So maybe if you don't want to pay for other video generation tools, it might take you a couple of days to get the results that you're after. But you can do this. You can execute your creative vision and you haven't got to spend loads of money. And speaking of, we have actually just got our generations back from LM Arena's Discord channel. So we'll just head on over and click here to take a little look at what we got. Let's see, did we get lucky? That one's very nice. Nice little orbit there that it's done. Very cool. Nice parallax there between the different kind of terrain in the shot. Very, very cool. Really nice level of depth there. And let's see what we got the second time around. So not very dynamic, cool parallax between this kind of front layer of constellations and the back layer. I don't hate it, but it's not particularly like punchy or engaging. But again, I'll just draw you guys back to this one here. I didn't pay any money for this. The Nano Banana generation was free. The animation through Ella Marina's Discord was also free. And just to round off the video, guys, do not underestimate the power and effect finishing touches can have on AI content. We can talk about editing, how we cut the shots together. Do we show the entire length of a shot or just a brief snippet of it? Do we want to reverse the shot or speed it up? Maybe we want to carry out some color correction or something like that. Me personally, I like to add a whole load of film grain on top of my AI video generations just to kind of sell that textural element. And nothing really comes to life until you add music and sound effects. There are a whole load of places you can get these for free and royalty free as well. Site that I tend to use a whole load is one called Pixabay. I am on here all the time getting sound effects. And you can also go onto YouTube's music library as well, which I believe is where I actually source that opening piece of music I use in most of my YouTube videos. Here it is here, the YouTube audio library. So you know that you haven't got to pay any money for these. And again, they are going to be copyright free too, safe to use on YouTube and therefore safe to use across your socials as well. I say it's kind of 50-50. There is a lot of quite rubbish stuff on here, I'm going to be brutally honest, but if you do enough digging, you're going to find some cool stuff as well. Combining your sound effects and your music is really going to sell that finished product. All the elements have to come together. AI can't just do everything for you. The human element, you as a creator, is still fundamentally important to the process. And that's why AI doesn't really scare me as much as it used to, because I know that a final output like the one you see at the start of the film could just not be created with AI. Could an AI have come up with the idea? Could it have troweled through all of those bad video generations that weren't doing what I wanted it to? Could it have sense checked over the Nano Banana exports to make sure that they were consistent enough to keep the vision alive? And could it have then searched for relevant music to create the tone that I'm after, and then all these different sound effects as well? I know VO3 is quite good at that, but I really still feel we as creators are very important here. AI just gives you the tools to execute your vision in a whole new way. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I've absolutely loved playing around with Nano Banana, and the growth on this YouTube channel, it means the absolute world to me, guys. I try to read and respond to as many comments as I possibly can, but if you have any questions and if you have ideas for future videos as well, make sure to drop them down below. Can't always respond to all the comments now, but I really do try my best. As always, if you have enjoyed today's content, make sure to like, hit that subscribe button, and of course, ring the bell notification icon so you don't miss any future videos, because I'm putting out as many as I possibly can. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and enjoy this new tool.